Hello, my name is Colton Glover, and I'm a former CS Bridge and CS 180 student. Over the many semesters I've helped with the course, I've seen a general confusion on where to write your homework and projects. So I've seen students write it in IntelliJ, I've seen it in text editors, I've also seen it in Vocarium itself. But today I'm going to be showing you how to write your code in IntelliJ and how to set up like a project structure. And then I'll also show you how to SSH over into data so you can remotely access like the lab computers, and then show you a little bit of like command line tools and how to run Java programs and use Vim, a text editor. Before we get into any of IntelliJ or SSHing, I want to show you a really important document, which is the coding standards. So if you head to the Brightspace page and go to Content, down to Course Documents, and then Coding Standards, there's a whole bunch of different things that you need to make sure that your program adheres to. So the file names need to match up with like the class that is being used. We need to have a Java doc at the top, and it even gives you like an example of what it should look like, and that your import statement should be at the top. How to like declare your variables, and then other general rules, and that we should also not have like more than 120 characters on a single line and all that stuff. So make sure that you have this document pretty handy right before you're about to submit. Otherwise, the Vocarium check style is going to snag you real quick. To begin, we're going to go ahead and just create our project structure in IntelliJ. So a project can house like our homework and projects, or you can make one just for your homework, or one just for your projects, or you can make one for every single homework and project that you have. But if you want it all kind of in one central location, you can go ahead and follow this. The process should be very similar for Windows computers, but just go to File, New, Project, name it whatever you want. So I'm going to call it CS180 Test, and then make sure it's going to be located where you can find it. You don't need to create a Git repository, just make sure that the language is Java and the build system is IntelliJ. Go ahead and go down to create, and then we are given our project structure here on the left, and then where we'll be editing our code here on the right. But let's go ahead and start writing, or go ahead and change the structure of the project. So here is where we're located in this directory. We don't need to mess with the .idea file, but we can go ahead and delete this src file because we're not going to be using this one specifically. So just delete. And then we can go up here, make sure that this directory is selected at the very top level. Go to File, New, Module. And so we'll just be creating modules for every single homework and project that we have. So say I had homework 1. Again, it's very similar, just Java and IntelliJ right here. And then now we created basically a copy of what we had up here, but now there's like a module of it down here. So this has its own src folder. Again, gonna delete this src folder, and then make sure homework 1 is selected, and just repeat the process. I'm gonna create a new module, and now I'm gonna call it like a walkthrough. Same stuff. And so now I have a walkthrough directory that houses like an src. The src folder is what IntelliJ looks for when trying to build and like run your code. So always make sure you have one of those. Now, obviously, in every homework, we have a walkthrough, debugging, and challenge. So if I just wanted a new module, can also just select this module and then call it debugging. But we're actually going to go ahead and rename it to 1 because we can't have a second walkthrough named walkthrough. So that was just a mistake. But then again, debugging has its own src folder here. So now I'll show you how to run a program here in IntelliJ. So to create a new class file, we can just go to an src folder, new Java class, name it whatever you want. So I'm going to name it hello CS, and then just hit enter, make sure class is selected right here. And then it brings up us with what you'll see actually is like a public class and then whatever the file name is. And so let's go ahead and like write some code here. So if you just type psvm, it'll go ahead and autofill once you hit tab the public static void string. public static void main string array args. And then from within here, we can do another shortcut by just typing SOUT, and then brings up the print line function. So I'll just say hello CS180. And then to run the program, we just go over here to the triangle on the left, hit run, and it will go ahead and run it. Here at the bottom is our output, the hello CS180, and then you can just collapse that or rerun from this button here. A common mistake will be when you have like multiple like different things that you can run in like a directory or something. So students often will go up here and just hit the run button, and they expect that the current program that they're sitting in will run, but actually it's the other one. So here, for instance, I have hello CS180, but then down here in the walkthrough SRC folder, I have a hello world sitting here. So if I was sitting here at the screen and I said, oh, okay, I want to run the main method here, which should print hello world, and I go up here, it goes and actually does the hello CS180 that I most recently ran. So you'll need to go back to the current file that you were wanting to run and hit the green triangle here to go ahead and run it so you can get hello world. IntelliJ has plenty of other really cool features. So if I were to create a scanner, or really any object at that point, but we're going to name the scanner, go ahead and import that, and it's going to be new scanner using system.in. And then later I want to go ahead and call something, like call a method using scan. I just have to hit the dot right after, and I can scroll through all of the methods that it has here. And then you can just double click it, or you can just navigate and then tab, and then here you go. Another thing is that we have this line sitting right here. So if you go look at the course documents over on Brightspace, you'll see a coding standards doc, and it says that we can't have more than 120 characters on a single line. So you can insert this line by going up to IntelliJ settings, and then you hit editor, code style, and then here we can do a hard wrap 120, and then wrap on typing, and then a visual guide, so that's that column there. But I'll show you what the hard wrap does here. So if I had a really long print line, let's say, and I'm about to hit that character limit, it'll go ahead and just auto wrap it for me, so I don't have to do any string concatenation or try to fix it however. So again, I said that, and so you can see that IntelliJ already added a space plus space, and then continued what I was doing on the next line. The next super useful feature that IntelliJ has is we can go ahead and have like code templates. So if I were to create a new Java class file, let's just name it test. You see that I just generated a Java doc at the top of my screen. Well, we can go ahead and do that by going to settings. And down here in the editor, we can have file and code templates. You just scroll down and hit class, and then you can go ahead and enter in what the general, like your general program should look like upon creating it. So here, instead of just me auto-generating 2 every time, I can just change it to X, and then make sure you always have your @author, who you are, in your lab section, along with the day that you completed the program, and then any sources, so like any TAs that might have helped you in the lab. And then you just have to hit apply, and then once you do create one, again, this Java doc will appear, and so when you go to submit to Vocarium, you won't be forgetting that Java doc. If you are interested in writing your code in IntelliJ or another IDE, well then you have another option, which is to SSH into data at Purdue. So, well, to start off, if you're using a Windows, you can download the Linux subsystem for Windows, or PuTTY, and then that can give you like a command line and all that stuff to go ahead and access data at Purdue. So, but anyway, on Mac, you just type in terminal, and then let's go ahead and expand this and make it a little bit larger. So, first off, you need a SSH, and then whatever your Purdue alias is, so it's what comes before your @purdue.edu in your email, so Clover44, and it's @data.cs.purdue.edu. And then it'll give you this notice, and then you just type in your career password, and then you're logged in. But let's go ahead and clear this screen. So you just type clear and it clears out the screen for you. So where are we at really? Well, this tilde is telling us, hey, we're at the home directory, but if we just do pwd, which stands for print working directory, we can go ahead and see that we're at homes, Glover 44. And then from there, we can just go ahead and list out all of the other directories or files that are within the directory that we're currently in. So just type ls, and you can see that we have all these directories, so they're listed in like this like blue, purple. And then if I were to create a file using touch, so touch and then file, and let's just give it that. So then I ls again, you can see that file.txt is here in white. To remove a file, we can go ahead and just call it rm and file tab complete that and then enter. And so it's no longer there. Next, if we wanted to create a directory, you type mkdir, so as in make directory, and then type cs180. I'm going to give this one a name for test. And then we can go ahead and change directories or go into that cs180 test that we just made by doing cd and then cs180, and I'm going to put a dash and then tab complete that. And then here I am in cs180 test as exactly what it's saying here. Let's go ahead and clear the screen a little bit. So we know that we can touch and then give a file name, so that creates a file, but we can also just use vim, which is what I'll be showing you today, the text editor. So we can just do vim and then I'll call it hello world.java. And then this is the screen. Your Vim might not look the same as mine because you can customize Vim by going into the Vim RC folder, which is hidden. If you just look up a simple tutorial, you can see all the customizations, get syntax highlighting and all that good stuff. But for the basics of Vim, originally you cannot type in it. You have to hit I to go into insert mode. To get out of insert mode, you hit escape, and from there, if I had a line and I wanted to delete it and I wasn't in insert mode, you just hit D twice, and there it is, it's deleted. To copy a line, we just double hit Y, and then to paste it, you just hit P from what you copied. To go ahead and quit out of Vim, we can just make sure you're out of everything, so hit escape, and then colon, Q will just quit right out of this and it won't save anything. W will save your changes, but if you just do WQ, it'll go ahead and save and then quit. So as you can see, we still have our hello world.java here, which there is no Java code in there, but we can go ahead and view the contents of it by typing cat and then hello world.java. This goes ahead and prints it out to the terminal for us. Now, if I want to go back and edit that hello world.java file, I can go and just hit vim, hello world, and then here I am again. I'm going to go ahead and delete all those lines and fill it back in with like a basic hello world program. As you can see here in Vim, we don't have the option to tab complete. So if I wanted to do a print line, it's only just going to put that tab there once I do the tab after the T. So I have to manually type out system.out.println. And then go ahead and give it a string. As you can see, it also doesn't do the same thing as IntelliJ, where it goes ahead and puts in the second double quote for you. So Vim is quite manual in that sense, but it is also the only thing that you'll have for CS240. So here's our program. You can see that there is some syntax highlighting that you can have, but like, again, Vim is going to be pretty manual for you. But let's go ahead and try to run this program. So I'm going to save and quit out of this. Again, I have my file right here. So if I want to compile this program, I just have to type javac and then hello world.java. If there's no message there, then that means it compiled just fine, and then I can go ahead and run the program by just doing java hello world. As you can see, I got the hello world. To go ahead and cd out of this directory, I can just do cd ... and then now here I'm back in the parent directory. As you can see, CS180 test was right there. But if I'm done using the data servers, I can go ahead and just type log out. And there I am, I'm back in my MacBook's terminal. Alright, so that's it for the video. I hope you got a little something out of it and know now why we recommend IntelliJ so much. Anyway, best of luck in CS 180, and I'll see you guys later.